Hey guys. Okay, so race season's on us and wetsuits. We've been swimming all winter in the pools and maybe it's been a little while since you've been in your wetsuit. So it's really key as the races approach that you maybe consider doing some of your long aerobic swims or even some of your key race sets in your wetsuit in the pool. Just get the feel for it again. Make sure that everything fits right, it's in good working condition. And we always know there's a bit of a transition going to, feeling what it's like to have the wetsuit around the shoulders, around the neck. Some people get a little claustrophobic. Some people experience a little bit of fatigue in their shoulders. So, getting used to that again. I'm going to do a little demonstration here on getting the wetsuit on properly. So, the big thing is, obviously, once you get your legs in there, the wetsuit should fit fairly tight. So you're pulling it up like a pair of pantyhose, little bits at a time. Really watch anyone who has nails. You want to make sure that you're, not digging your nails in and ripping your suit. But you start at the ankles and you're pulling up just like a pair of pantyhose, just a tiny little bit at a time. And you're pulling it up fairly high, up your ankle, and just a little bit, all the way, both sides, a little bit, so that you're not yanking from the top, but you're exactly, for the ladies out there, they know what I'm talking about as far as trying to, as if it's a pair of pantyhose. You guys, maybe some of you know, but for the most part, you probably don't. What you're looking for is that you're pulling it up high enough that you're really making sure that there's no sag or big pocket in your crotch. And we all know what that's like. As you pull the wetsuit up, all of a sudden there's this big, gaping lull at the crotch, and that means you haven't pulled it up high enough. So, take some time to get the wetsuit on properly. If it fits properly, it should be fairly tight and snug. So take some time to really pull it up high. That's the biggest mistake when people fit their wetsuits, and the reason that their shoulders fatigue early is that they haven't actually put it on properly. So just take your time, make sure you're going a little bit at a time, really pulling it up really high in the crotch, through the whole body. And then same thing with the arms. What happens with people is that they get their wetsuit on and they just simply haven't pulled it up high enough. So, you're make sure, obviously been a little while since I've had a wetsuit on too. Make sure that as you pull this on, same thing, little bit by little bit, just like a pair of pantyhose, pulling it up the arm, really making sure. You can see how there's these big gapping, spaces between my armpit and the arm. So the idea is that you keep pulling it up as high as you can from the wrist all the way up the arm, little pinches at a time, and really pulling it up the shoulder so that we get the wetsuit as high as possible on the body. So like I say, the biggest complaint with wetsuits is, oh, my shoulders get really tired. And what you want to make sure of to avoid that, if you have a good quality wetsuit, number one, the investment's worth having a good quality wetsuit. And then if you have a good quality wetsuit, really making sure that the suit is put on correctly. It's pulled really, really high. Now, obviously, I'm by myself here, so I can't do it up in the back. But once you have the wetsuit on and up, you want to watch, the things that you're looking for is that the neckline, if it's pulled down like this and really gapping, you haven't pulled the body, and like I was talking about earlier, this crotch bit up high enough from the legs. So you got to pull the legs up the body. Make sure the neckline is nice and high. It should be up high and feel like almost there's a bit of a gap. Then the next bit is, you've got the arms done up right. When you get the back of the wetsuit done up, stretch your arms up like this, squeeze your shoulder blades nice and tight together, have someone do the zipper up, and then what we want to make sure of is that we pull the sleeves up high enough that there's no gaping pocket here. This bit here should be really snug up into your armpit. If anything, you should have a little bit of extra up here and that this is tight. If you've got this big pocket where it's away from your armpit, don't have the suit pulled up high enough for when you get in the water. Okay, so that's Really make sure the wetsuit's put on properly, and that's going to make sure that you have the right mobility in the water and you're not going to get tired from the suit. Getting it off quickly, a couple little tricks. If you lube up from here to here on the arms, and the same thing on the legs from here to here, some of the short course racers actually even cut off a quarter of the calf to make sure to help with getting it off quickly. But if you lube it up with some kind of lube, baby oil, some of the old school use Pam. I don't maybe recommend Pam because it wrecks the suit, but baby oil or some of the lubes out there now, the commercial lubes, you can, just the, the forearm and the lower part of the leg, and that's going to help when you rip it off, make it slippery enough to get off quickly. Once you have that lube on your hands, maybe use gloves or something like that to make sure that you don't have that all over your hands because you're going to lose the feel for the water. So make sure that either use gloves or something else to put the lube on, or really wash your hands well afterwards. Okay guys, so as the race season gets going, make sure you get these suits on. Cheers.